Falcons fans, welcome to episode 2 of FalconZone. I'm your host, Jeremy the Impact York. Obviously, later than I want to do this show, but it's just when it's going to come out. Tons and tons that we're going to get into, of course. For people who don't know, this is Impact Media's weekly dive into the world of the Atlanta Falcons football squad. Quick shout out, which we'll tell you about when I'm recording this show. Quick shout out to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, who took it all the way down to the final minutes, kicked a field goal, and defeated was number 12. Either way, ranked team Clemson, who are now 1-2. Georgia Tech now 3-0. I feel like they're going to be in the top 25. Could be wrong. Could be wrong there, but congratulations, Georgia Tech. Obviously, on this week's show with John Watts and myself on Up with the White and Gold, we will talk more about it. But wanted to say shout out to Georgia Tech on the victory that me and he called. But we want to talk more about the Atlanta Falcons this week. And of course, I'm going to start with last week. They do narrowly lose in the same way that the Clemson just did, narrowly lose by a field goal to the Buccaneers on a last minute field goal. And I watched this game. And some quick things that I thought about when watching this game. I think Penix is developing. I think he's a good quality player. I think he's going to be doing some really, really good things in the near future. It's not that he's not doing things now. No. He's doing good things. He's where he should be in his development. I feel like Kurt's working with him. I feel like his head coach is working with him. I feel like a lot of people are working with him. And I feel like his natural talent starting to bloom and blossom. It's taken a little getting used to with another lefty back there. But I feel like London. I feel like Pitt. I feel like Bijan, all the Algier, all the players, all the ones are adjusting to it, and I think they're starting to figure out his tendencies as a quarterback, and they're starting to figure out their own tendencies as receivers. Don't have much of an issue with the offensive line. Based on the people they're missing, you would think they'd have bigger problems than they do. Actually, Penix was able to either take his drop and throw from there, take his drop, step up into the pocket, and at times he was able to break free and roam back and forth in order to complete the pass. So I don't think the offensive line is an issue. They scored 20 points as a team against a Buccaneers squad that's always going to play you tough. Baker Mayfield is that guy. He is that guy that is just you're going to have to completely take him out in order to defeat him. And Emeka Egbuka having massive day, two touchdown catches for them, and just had a miraculously big day. He might have more down the road. I don't think it's a one-off. Falcons defense was all right. I didn't have problems with them. They were getting pressure on Baker. The thing they're going to have to continue to work on, and I applaud the effort. Before you brought in free agent after free agent after free agent after free agent, and at some point, definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Yeah. So you decided we're going to do something different, and this is not sarcastic. No, this is a replaying of the fact. You said, okay, well, we tried to bring in people and didn't work. We're going to draft people. And they used a couple really, really high picks to grab the guys you have now. I like what they're doing. They're not used to being a pro yet. They know how to play football. As those two things start to merge together, I think you're going to be in a much better place. They were, like I said, you're getting pressure now, which is something you were getting before. You're just not getting sacks. You're not getting interceptions, fumbles. You're not creating chaos as much as you are just pressuring the other team. There's a difference in that. Once again, I don't think the defense is the problem. I don't think special teams is. I like where everybody's at. Everybody needs to keep going and keep placing. Man, what a time. There is a Falcons announcement that just hit across my phone. We will discuss it in just a second. I don't think the issue was with other places. I could say kicker's an issue because Young Ho Koo has proven for the last year and a half, 2 years, that he's Mr. Reliable about 75% of the time. And that other 25, not so much. Which leads me to the announcement that I just heard from Pro Football Talk. Shout out Mike Florio. Falcons replace kicker Young Ho Koo with kicker Parker Romo for week number 2. Week number 2, you're getting a different kicker. We will see how that works. It's not just the ability of the kicker, it's the long snapper, it's the holder, it's the line, it's the way people block. So we'll see how that all goes, but there you go. Falcons fans, you wanted a different kicker, and at least for this week, you're getting one. And we will see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. You know, they started 0-1. Yeah, it was a division game. I told Falcons fans and non-Falcons fans all week long, it's one. It's just one. That's what it's 1 week in the books. There are 17 more weeks to go, 16 total games of those 17, right? I'm okay with one even division loss. And it's a close one. It's not like Tampa Bay coming here and beat you 41-6. They beat you on a last-second field goal because you had them. You had them a couple times. Falcons fans, you guys know that. The Falcons had the Buccaneers a couple times. Like 2 or 3. 2 or 3. You had them. And a Falcons fan asked me, he said, "Hey, who said this quote?" And he said the quote, and I'm pretty sure it was Denny Green. If I'm wrong, hit me up in the comments, tell me. He said, "Who said we had them where we want them, and we let them off the hook?" And I think that was Denny Green. Pretty sure it's a very famous one. I agree. You had them. You had them. If the Buccaneers were a giant fish in the ocean, and here you are on your boat trying to get the biggest catch, you had them. You had them all the way up to the boat. You go to scoop your net down there, and you might as well cut the line because you had them. You had them. And you let them beat you. You let them beat you. You can't tell me that the Buccaneers on that ride home yesterday, whether it was on a bus or whether on a plane, that they weren't going, you know what? We just flipped one because that should have been a loss, and now it's a win. You know, should have been a loss, or I guess should have been a loss, and it was a win. We know Jameis Winston eating W's here, but pardon me. But when you have a pretty good idea that you're going to have to fight really hard to get a win, and then somehow you figure it out and you get it in the win, not only is it a good win for your team, you stole one, and you know that. Because if this would have been flipped, I would have told the Falcons the same way, that you stole one. The Falcons might be stealing one this week. Let's see. Because that leads us to this week. In this week, the Falcons not only get it's a Sunday night game, right? Yeah, it's a Sunday night on NBC in Minnesota versus a Vikings team that, led by J.J. McCarthy and Justin Jefferson, made a miraculous comeback last week and proved that they can put up points in a hurry if you don't watch out. A lot of Atlanta fans were worried. Why? Week 2. What they did last week, not necessarily a pattern yet. If they make a pattern of doing it, okay, they become killers. We have to watch them because of what they can do. They can steal the win from you that week. But for now, I look at these two teams. The Falcons emerging, doing good things. If they could score around 20, 25 points, I think they're in this one. Vikings, same way. They're going to be looking to keep it simple, to continue to grow, and to use the momentum from last week in order to win here at home on Sunday night. But these primetime games are always difficult, and they're always weird, and you just have to just take them for what they are. Like, you can't just put them in the same parameters you do a 1 o'clock game, a 4 o'clock game, anything like that. No, these are complete almost standalone. You have to treat them as one off, as you just can't compare them to other things. Um, that being said, here is my prediction for the week. I do think the Falcons can and should win this game. They are going to have to pressure McCarthy. They are going to have to probably double, if not bracket, Justin Jefferson, let somebody else beat you. And they are going to have to get some sort of pass rush on J.J. McCarthy, because if they don't do that, if you don't at least get at this kid and be in his face all the time, he's going to tear you apart. Don't believe me? Ask Ohio State. Ask Wisconsin. Ask that team they beat last week. Ask these other teams that if you don't keep the pressure up on the J.J. McCarthy, he's going to find a way to beat you. He's good, folks. I don't know how good, and sure, I'll defend him a little bit as a Michigan fan, but the kid can play. He proved it last week. Don't let him have the chance to prove it this week. Just don't. That's the best way to do it. Just do not give him the opportunity to do so. Like I said, one of the keys to the game: pressure J.J. McCarthy, and pressure and sack and knock around, and remind him that every time he touches the ball, there are people bigger than him that want to knock him down. I told you got to keep an eye on Justin Jefferson. We all know that. That's easy stuff. Their defense can be some records. They can be some game records for sure. They're going to bring the pressure. They have a good way of getting after the quarterback. We're going to have to get Penix moving around back and forth a little bit. Whatever is the safer side to be on. And I think he'll be okay. He's able to move and get out of the way if he can. Just can't give up those blindside blockers, just smashes and things, and just have to just win in the dirty areas and win the small game, I think, in order to win this game. You got your new kicker. Koo's taking a seat. I'm sure they'll say it was an injury. It'll be the last time. But you got what you wanted. Falcons fans. You've been trying to run Koo out of the building for the last handful of games, half the season. You're going to get your new guy. Is he better than Koo? Couldn't tell you. You know when we'll find out? Sunday at 8:20 on NBC. That's the best. That's the best we're going to do. Minnesota's a 3.5-point favorite, by the way, at home, which means to the Vegas odds makers, these teams are even. You pretty much get 3 points for being at home. So the fact they're a 3.5-point favorite, that means they're a half-point favorite at home. That means they think the Falcons can very much and could beat this Vikings team. I think they will. They got the total at 44.5. I think they go just over that. Maybe not actually. Well, 24-20 would be under that. I think they go just above that. Yeah, it's not a betting podcast, but I'll throw that out there. I don't remember if I did picks last week. When we have co-hosts, we'll go head to head with picks. But let me tell you about some of the bigger games coming up this week. Hopefully you saw Commanders Packers, and to know that Commanders are still emerging, and the Packers, pretty much the Packers and the Eagles, are the favorites in the NFC. Notable games. 49ers Saints may be all right. Bears and the Lions could be interesting because the Bears showed they had a lot of fight. The Lions showed that they really missed their coordinator. There it is. Seahawks at the Steelers. That's going to be a fun game, 1 p.m. Fox, or if you have other ways to watch it. That's one that I would pay attention to because the Steelers are the 3.5-point favorites, but once again, it makes them even. It would not surprise me if the Seahawks win this game. It wouldn't surprise me if the Seahawks win the game. I'll put it that way. Eagles Chiefs, Super Bowl. rematch. Eagles 1-0 and the Chiefs 0-1. You know what that means? Not much in week two. This is in Kansas City. It's a 425 game. It's a feature game on Fox. Man, that means you're going to get Tom Brady for that one, I believe. Have fun. I think the Eagles are better right now. I want to see more from the Chiefs, but it's also Patty Mahomes over there, who is known to let people doubt him, let people doubt him, let people doubt him, and then he holds up trophies. So kind of is what it is with that. What is the Monday night game? The Monday night game is Buccaneers at the Texans. It might be a good game. The Buccaneers should smoke them. Should absolutely smoke them in that one. Like I said, I don't remember if I did picks or not, but there's two Monday night games. There's also Chargers at the Raiders. Chargers all the way. Chargers all the way. We are looking at getting some guest hosts and some other people on the show. I know I say that on a lot of shows. And a lot of shows we don't tape on a Saturday afternoon. But a lot of big things coming with the relaunch of FalconZone. Impact Media is exploding in the past couple of years. So we're just going to try to keep pumping out content, telling you guys all the fun things that we absolutely can. But we have reached the end of the show. I've got to go get ready for something I am booked for. And we will be back at obviously earlier in the week, next week, to talk about Falcons victory and talk about what the road ahead looks like. And like I said, who knows? You always want to tune in. You never know who I could have on this show. But I am Jeremy Lee Impact York from Impact Media. This is Falcon Zone. We will see you guys down the road. Deuces, gooses. Go watch football. Go Falcons.